Hey everybody, what's going on? Cinema Recap here today, and we're going to talk about The Last Airbender. Spoilers ahead. We're shown that Sokka and his younger sister Katara live in the Southern Water Tribe. This is a frigid Arctic land that could be likened to the South Pole in the real world. And that means that it's covered with ice, snow, and a whole lot of water, which makes sense considering it's the home to the Water Tribe.
Stop doing that stuff around me.
We find out fast through conversation between Sokka and Katara that Katara is the last water bender in the whole Southern Water Tribe, and her brother, while only being a few years older, is the last warrior standing to protect the village. Now the rest of the adult warriors, including their father, went to war to try and stop the encroaching attack from the Fire Nation. So the two siblings are out fishing, and while they're out fishing, they discover an unusual iceberg.
Do not hit that spear!
Katara uses her skills as a waterbender, meaning that she can magically control the water in the world around her to break open the iceberg. And there they find Aang, a 12-year-old boy and his pet flying bison, Appa. Well, Katara is stunned and instantly insists that they bring Aang back to the Southern Water Tribe village, while Sokka is a little more on the leery side, questioning whether it's really a safe decision.
We need to get him back to the village.
And when that iceberg breaks, it shoots a beam of light into the air, and this beam of light catches the attention of Zuko, the disgraced prince of the Fire Nation. Now Zuko's on a mission to find and capture the missing avatar. It's the only way that he can restore his honor and lift his banishment, allowing him to return home to his family in the Fire Nation. Well, Zuko knows that the only being who could create such a display of power is the avatar himself. So he charts a course towards the Southern Water Tribe, and he's on a ship with his uncle, Aro, who serves as a calming counterbalance to Zuko's sharp tongue and fast flaring anger. Though Aro doesn't have a big speaking role in the movie just yet. Don't worry, fans of the original series, your beloved Tea-Master will get his time to shine later. And for those of you who are using The Last Airbender movie as their stepping stone into the series, make sure that you keep your eyes on this one. He's a long-standing fan favorite.
I'll go with you.
So now, docking his warships, Zuko demands that the villagers of the Southern Water Tribe hand over the Avatar. At this point, we realize the flaw in only having Sokka there to protect the other villagers, many of whom are either very old or very young. Still, Sokka steps forward to try and chase the Fire Nation off. It's then revealed that the Avatar is the only person in all the worlds that can master all four elements of bending: earth, fire, water, and air. This means that the Avatar is the only person with enough power and strength to defeat the Fire Nation and restore balance back to the world.
Lucky.
While not wanting any harm to come to the villagers of the Southern Water Tribe, Aang steps forward and surrenders himself to Zuko, who takes him on the warship. And after being locked up, Aang uses his airbending to not only escape from the ship, but to get on Appa, who was brought there by Katara and Sokka, who were planning on trying to rescue Aang themselves. Now, knowing that they need to put a distance between themselves and the Fire Nation warships, they fly to the Southern Air Temple, where Aang is raised.
We're going with you.
And Aang's forced to confront the fact that he's been trapped in that iceberg for a century. It's bad enough to know that everyone around you has aged in the world that kept turning, but there's an even more terrible realization. Well, during the century that Aang was locked away, the Fire Nation attacked the air nomads and wiped them out completely. That means that everyone Aang knew, including Monk Gyatso, who was his guardian and effectively raised him, is gone.
I left a few days ago.
That despair that Aang feels is so great it triggers the Avatar state. And once the Avatar state has been triggered, Aang finds himself in the spirit world, which stretches out vast and endless around him. Now in the spirit world, Aang encounters a dragon spirit, who gives him a warning about the upcoming comet. Now Katara manages to break through the bounds of the spirit world and rouse Aang, pulling him back into their reality and into a calm state.
You okay?
After they take a moment to recover, the three realize that they have to hurry and help Aang learn all of the different styles of bending. And while Katara can teach him how to water bend, he needs someone else to teach him about earth bending. And with this in mind, they fly on Appa to the Earth Kingdom. They come across a village controlled by the Fire Nation. Well, the Fire Nation arrests and imprisons the gang, but this goes poorly for those in charge as Sokka is able to incite rebellion, and the entire group of the Fire Nation soldiers occupying the village is defeated.
I need to tell you something.
So after the fight, Katara realizes that she doesn't actually know enough about waterbending to teach Aang, and they change tactics, seeking out the Northern Water Tribe, where he can find a real master to teach him. Along the way, they're able to stop at another air temple, where they meet a young peasant. They initially thought that they found a friend and ally, but it's quickly turned around. For a movie based on a show that relied on friendship, it's sure in short supply here.
Fire Nation has destroyed this temple.
The peasant turns him in to Commander Zhao, one of the most ruthless members of the Fire Nation's Imperial Army. Aang and his friends are besieged by Fire Nation archers. It looks like they might be captured for good this time, but a mysterious man wearing a blue demon mask shows up and uses his two swords, helping Aang escape from Zhao. This newcomer calls himself the Blue Spirit. While Aang's unable to tell who it is, Zhao instantly realizes that the Blue Spirit is actually the disgraced Prince Zuko. Talk about a plot twist.
Why are you doing this? Who are you?
Zhao switches his attention to Zuko, has a crossbowman fire a bolt, which is another word for a crossbow arrow, right at Zuko, and the ire strikes true and knocks the disgraced prince out. But Aang refuses to leave him behind, and uses his airbending not only to escape, but to bring Zuko with him. Now that night, Aang sits up and keeps watch over Zuko. In the morning, Aang leaves to look for his friends, thinking that Zuko will be fine. Instead, Zhao once again makes a move on Zuko, this time blowing up the prince's ship.
It looks like you went through a great deal, huh?
While the ruins of the disgraced prince's warship are still smoldering, Zuko manages to sneak onto Zhao's own ship and hide away for the time being. Before we go on, like the video, smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to get that full day of good luck. Aang and his friends continue on their journey, using their flying bison to finish traveling to the Northern Water Tribe, where they're met and welcomed by other citizens there. Now Aang's introduced to a waterbending master, Master Pakku, who starts to teach both Aang and Katara the excelled arts of waterbending. And while they're busy training, we briefly follow Sokka as he meets and falls in love with the princess of the Northern Water Tribe, Yu, and the two become close friends. Unfortunately, the peace and bonding doesn't last for long. Within the span of one short training montage, the Fire Nation have arrived at the Northern Water Tribe and are making their attack, led by Zhao. And as Zhao focuses on attacking this tribe, Zuko continues to seek out the Avatar for himself.
Yes, he did.
Still convinced that he must capture Aang to restore his honor. Now Zhao wreaks havoc on the Northern Water Tribe, destroying houses, firing arrows, and causing a huge mess. And this serves as enough a distraction for Zuko to attack our unwitting heroes. After Zuko defeats Katara in a steam-filled battle, he manages to successfully capture Aang. But the Avatar is so worried over Katara that he once more gets flung into the Avatar state, where he goes searching for the Dragon Spirit, convinced that it's going to be what allows him to defeat both Zuko and Zhao. Well, Aang does find this Dragon Spirit, but the massive thing isn't willing to physically help him, and instead tells Aang that he must use the ocean and show the Fire Nation the power of water.
Show them the power of water.
Well, this message is enough to allow Aang to return to his body, where he once more engages Zuko in a fight. Still, where would this movie be without the power of friendship just around the corner? When things are looking grim, Katara joins the fray once more and manages to free Zuko in ice.
Are you okay?
Meanwhile, we're introduced to the situation going on with Zhao and Zuko's uncle, Aro. Now, it should be stated that Aro had a much smaller part in the movies as he does in the TV show, and this is, in essence, the lovable old man's biggest scene. He and Zhao have just entered a sacred cave. Aro tries to plead with Zhao to change his mind and leave, citing the balance of nature, but Zhao ignores him. Now, this is the cave where the Moon Spirit lives, which has taken the form of a massive koi fish. In an act of selfishness and cruelty, Zhao kills the Moon Spirit. So this effectively strips all waterbenders of their abilities, and Zhao figures it'll make taking over both the southern and northern tribes much easier.
The world will go out of balance.
Now, this act of sacrilege thoroughly enrages Aro, and he attacks Zhao, revealing that he's the former general of the Firebenders' army, and for the first time, showing off the fact that he's one of the most masterful firebenders in all the nation. Aro's able to successfully use his skills as a firebender to chase Zhao and his men out of the cave, but it appears to be too late. The damage already done, and the world's going haywire with the death of the Moon Spirit. The oceans rise up, waves slamming into ships and sinking them. The people are without their ability to use water bending. And this is giving the firebenders a big step up, to which they advance their attack on the Northern Water Tribe.
They would never let you take the Avatar.
Aro made the right decision in standing up against Zhao, but it was a decision that came too far too late, and now the whole world's paying for it. So Sokka seeks out Princess Yu, trying to protect her, and he's one of the only men there who can fight with more than just waterbending, as he has both his trusty boomerang, aptly named Boomerang, and the subject of many jokes among fans of the series, and also has a bone club that he brought with him from the start. However, Yu's already made up her mind and decided that the only thing that will set the world back into balance is restoring the moon spirit. Well, Sokka helps her get into the cave where Yu gives him a brief but lingering kiss before sacrificing herself.
I miss you.
Princess Yu gives her own life to revive the moon spirit, and outside, the waters of the ocean finally settle, restoring balance to the world. But a restoration of balance doesn't mean that the fighting isn't done yet, and the movie launches into its single most action-packed scene, as Zhao and Zuko have a head-to-head face-off, or so we think. In a stunning twist, the sort of twist that director M. Night Shyamalan is known for, Aro manages to talk his nephew out of the fight, leaving Zhao to be handled by the waterbenders. Now the waterbenders, furious over the death of their princess and the damage done to the moon spirit, drown Zhao. Now it's not a very gory scene, but it absolutely has some unexpected shock value.
You stand alone.
Zhao might be dealt with, but there's still a fleet of Fire Nation soldiers heading their way. Aang reflects back on his life before entering the iceberg, talking about what it was like to be raised by the air nomads, and then comparing that to the state of the world today. He enters the Avatar state of his own free will this time, and uses the added energy to pull the ocean up itself into a wall. Ships are toppled, the attack is brought to a sudden wet stop, and the Fire Nation, for the time being, is pushed back. The scene then makes a sudden shift, ending not with Aang and his friends, but in the throne room of Zuko's father, Fire Lord Ozai. Here he's informed of Zhao's defeat, and of the failure in regards to capturing the Northern Water Tribe. But more importantly, that flashy display with the ocean has brought Aang to the Fire Lord's attention, and the man is determined to prevent the Avatar from mastering earth and fire, lest he be unstoppable. And to do this, he tasks his daughter, Princess Azula, Zuko's younger sister, with the job of defeating the Avatar. And this is a job that, if the creepy music and cinematic lighting is anything to go off of, Azula is gonna take very seriously. And that's the end of the movie. Thanks for hanging around to the end. This was our recap of The Last Airbender, a live-action film starring Noah Ranger as Aang, Dev Patel as Prince Zuko, Nicola Peltz as Katara, and Jackson Rathbone as Sokka. It was produced by Nickelodeon Movies and distributed by Paramount Pictures. Released about 12 years ago, so now's the perfect time to snatch up a copy and watch it.